the Daily Orbit. I'm your host, Bobby Alvarez, coming to you live with breaking news that space needs your help. NASA and the Canadian Space Agency have teamed up to create the Deep Space Food Challenge, a call to all Canadians to cultivate a new food system that would enable astronauts to travel further distances, to Mars and beyond. This means that you could actually decide future astronauts' menus. This challenge to Canadians is extremely important, as currently, astronauts must rely upon periodic resupply from Earth, which has stunted longer flights until a sustainable food system can be developed. In other words, no matter how innovative astronomical technology becomes, we simply cannot explore further distances without a way to keep fueling not just our spaceships, but our astronauts. If you're thinking about joining the challenge, there are some important limitations of the current menu that you should keep in mind. Firstly, when traveling in space, food brought on any journey must be compact and lightweight, as the spaceship has a limited capacity. Food must also be sticky or wet to avoid floating crumbs in space. Boy, would that be a hard mess to clean up. Food must also be pasteurized or processed so that it can survive the duration of very lengthy missions. Finally, food must of course be both tasty and nutritious so that astronauts can enjoy meeting their daily nutritional needs. Let's take a look at a poster from the Canadian Space Agency that depicts how astronauts currently eat. Astronauts consume daily essentials such as scrambled eggs. Just like you and I, they just need to be rehydrated. Crumbless tortillas also make for a tasty snack, making it clear that astronauts are not just eating space ice cream anymore. Though astronaut menus have certainly come a long way over the years, there's still a long way to go, as fresh veggies remain a treat in space, and that's what needs to change. Now that we've seen the current state of space menus, it's important to emphasize the role of nutrition. Many space explorations have failed due to a lack of nutrition and food inadequacies. This implicates that as you're creating your sustainable food system, keep in mind that just as important as preservation and storage is nutrition. In fact, due to the negative effects of microgravity and radiation on the body when traveling in space, astronauts especially need to maintain a healthy diet, as fresh foods high in antioxidants, such as blueberries, can protect astronauts against health consequences of these processes, such as cell and tissue damage, which increase individuals' risk of cancer and premature aging. This need to protect astronauts' long-term health further emphasizes the need for astronauts to have some kind of system to produce fresh foods aboard their spacecraft. To recap, astronauts need your help to explore space as they require a more sustainable food system that contains nutritional and space-safe portable menus to fuel astronauts with fresh-grown foods for lengthy trips. If this is all sounding almost impossible to you, that's because creating such a food system is certainly going to be a challenge. But the reward of doing so stems beyond astronomical exploration, as developing such a sustainable system carries the potential to address food security challenges of harsh environments for Canadians. For example, Norvik, a community-led food production system for harsh environments located in Nunavut, has already benefited Canadian food systems. Norvik is run by the Arctic Research Foundation, prioritizing a low-maintenance and input system that is able to produce a large volume of output. So far, Norvik has the capacity to produce fresh lettuce and other produce through 24-hour darkness and sunlight periods, using solar and wind-green energies, while also being able to withstand drastically different weather conditions. In other words, food can be produced day and night in extreme climates using readily available green technologies. Wow! Keep innovators like Norvik in the back of your mind if you're thinking about joining the contest. Now let's take a look at your competition so you can see who you're up against. One of your fiercest competitors is the Martlet Group, whose leader, Professor Mark Lusford, has already been involved in the development of dwarf wheat with NASA. If you're feeling intimidated, Lusford and his team have provided you with some tips. Number 1, the system should have a form of automation to it, so that the system can produce fresh foods without having busy astronauts needing to constantly attend to it. And number 2, astronauts are people with taste buds too. Remember that just like you and I, astronauts don't just want to eat spinach and kale all the time. So make sure your system is palatable and contains enough variety of fresh foods so that astronauts are not fatigued by your menu. Let's get creative and do the Deep Space Challenge. This is shuttle launch control. T-minus 5 seconds in holding. Innovators get ready to launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your mission starts now. For more information, please visit these resources. Thank you so much for watching The Daily Orbit.